Hello, welcome to ShropshireStar.com. My name's Jonny Drury. I'm here on a glorious day at the Montgomery Waters Meadow. I'm joined by Lewis Cox as we look back on Shrewsbury Town season, looking at the various positions. And Lewis, we're going to start with the goalkeepers. In previous years, it's been sort of loan signings, heroes for a season, Dean Henderson and the likes. But signed Marko Marosi last summer, 3-year deal, and he's been probably the one mainstay in the. Well, one of the mainstays in the whole Salop side. So this video on the goalkeeper shouldn't take too long. He's had a good season.
That's the hope. No, he's been great. Obviously, a bit of a rumour, weren't there, last a couple of weeks back, regards Swansea, which we quickly knocked down there. Obviously, the hope and the target and the expectation is that he's doing the same next season as the number one. As you say, he's got 2 more years left on that deal he signed last summer. He's been great, hasn't he? He had a great season, in my opinion. Consistent, reliable, available, played every minute of league football, 46 games, every single minute. Obviously no keeper anywhere. I was having a look actually, and I think there's 3, maybe 4 in the division that have played every minute of league action. I mean, it just gives you such a solid base, doesn't it? And the chances are too that if the keeper's playing every game, they're doing all right, aren't they? Because if not, if you're struggling or making mistakes, you're getting dropped. The likelihood is of that. So the fact Town have that in their own permanent keeper, not having to worry about where's the next loan coming from. It was, what was it, Henderson, and then Joel Coleman, O'Leary, Sarkic. There've been a few, haven't there? And to not have to worry about that. I mean, obviously they'll hope, if there is any interest to come further at this, along the line this summer, which wouldn't be a huge surprise if clubs had taken note. Town will hope to fend that off.
Especially with 2 years left.
Yeah, they're in a great position, aren't they? With 2 years, as you say. He's a great age, 28. By no means old for a keeper, is it? So yeah, more of the same. Excellent shot stopping, one-on-ones. I did a piece around the time of that Swansea interest, and his percentage save ratio is, well, it's the best in the division really, which is excellent. Obviously a number of clean sheets to equal Dean Henderson's record. Kick it with his feet's a funny one, because he arrived with a reputation of being a bit of an Edison, really, like an unbelievable goalkeeper with his feet. And I'm not saying he's not, because he's good with his feet, but I know fans have sort of pointed out his kicking throughout the season and how sometimes it can be a bit delayed, and then sometimes it can miss the full back, the wing back, and go out into the stands. But I mean, you're going to get that, aren't you? No keeper in this division, no keeper full stop, even in the Premier League, gets every kick right. So I don't think we can be too sort of critical or expectant in that regard. Excellent in other departments, I think, and yeah, they've done well with him, haven't they? And the other keepers in the squad, who we might get onto in a bit, haven't had too much of a look in beyond a couple of cup games.
Yeah, like you said there, a couple of the other keepers, but Cameron Gregory's obviously been released, and Harry Burgoyne's extended his contract. He had a year option that's been taken up. His biggest contribution was probably that melee at Gillingham a few months ago. But he's signed a new deal. He's going to be someone who Steve Cottrell probably hopes will sort of push Marko Marosi. I know he's spoken about how sort of valuable he is in that duo. He's great for the squad, Harry. Great option to push Marosi. Great sort of character to have around the place. I think obviously everyone knows how much he cares, being from these parts, and appreciates being at the club, and he's obviously happy in the role he's playing, albeit obviously it's not a new contract, it's a year triggered, but won an award, didn't he, at the end of the season, Burgoyne, actually, for the community value and the work he does there. So credit to him in that regard, because not all players have to and do get stuck in with that stuff, so good for him for doing that, and good for him for being seen as an ideal option to have around the place as number 2. Obviously, from Burgoyne's perspective, he'll want to be number 1. Like, that's just how players and goalkeepers work, isn't it? But with how Marosi's been, that's a tough ask. Not impossible, but it's a tough ask. But he'll have the cup games at the start of the season, won't he, Burgoyne? I think he made 4 appearances last season, 3 Papa Johns and 1 FA Cup, I think it was, Stratford Town. So yeah, we'll see what his involvement's like at the beginning of next season. Obviously Jaden Bevan, young academy graduate here from the town, has been offered a contract to sort of step into that Gregory number 3 role, so hopefully more experience for him.
And yeah, it's just tough for those other keepers to see a way past Marosi. So it'll be interesting to see if Marosi can stick to those high sort of consistent performance levels and keep the shirt as he has this season.